I realized that if we put anybody except ourselves in the center of our life, it's going to be a little unpleasant life to live with. Everybody who saw me on the road would be like, you're obese, you're fat, you're dark-skinned on camera, you don't look good.
What is your idea of a romantic relationship?
I feel 90% of it is friendship. It's only the extra 10% which is probably the physical attraction. If somebody walks out of a relationship, it's spoken about, it's marked on the paper, it's marked on the internet, it's something which can never be erased. Even if you have moved on, decades after it, it's still a topic.
You might remember her as the girl who lit up your TV screen. That energy, that presence. These days, she's channeling all of that into something fabulous. Something where she gets to define success, happiness, strength exactly the way she wants to. And honestly, she wears this life beautifully. Welcoming Ramya Subramanian. And this is her story of a second sunrise. Normally, podcasts like this are very intentional. There is a kind of a fear or hesitation from the host to know the guest and being very, very polite and wondering if the questions are too aggressive. I think today it's not going to be like that.
Yeah.
I know my guests so well, and I'm not looking for any perfect answers now. No rush. And some of the questions you don't even have to answer if you don't want to. We can just chat.
Absolutely, I'm loving it. I mean, this feels like home, and you in front of me feels like just every conversation that we've had over the last 20 years. That sometimes I have to keep reminding myself, yeah, I'm actually on camera for a change.
Don't spill out all the secrets.
Yeah, that we can't do. But it feels so casual. My guards are down. It's going to be very easy talking to you. I'm looking forward to this to just make it a good memory.
Yeah, and role reversal. Usually you are the one who will be talking to everybody.
Absolutely.
How do you make your guests comfortable? How long does it take for you to make your guests comfortable?
So because I'm right now about 20 years into the anchoring space.
God, you don't look like it.
Because of that, I think there's a already developed rapport and comfort with most of the people.
Okay.
But if I'm meeting for the first time somebody, I actually take out time at least about half an hour before we start rolling the camera to talk to them. And I try to make them feel normal. Like I feel like most of the people, there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of this whole, there comes that celebrity. We need to really get up and be nice to them, and we need to be very, very special. We need to treat them special. But I feel like most people are normal and they like to be treated that way. So the minute I start seeing them as a friend, like I'm just meeting somebody for the first time to have a cup of coffee, what are the things which are going to make me feel curious? And I also ask them things like, what is my boundary? What are the questions you're not going to be most comfortable talking to? Just like how you said, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to answer all the questions I ask. I do the same with them. So then they feel more comfortable. And I do have certain principles of not making somebody feel difficult about certain emotions, what they've gone through over their life. And then I do that and I feel like the trajectory has spoken for itself that, okay, she's here, then I'm safe. She's not going to ask me all awkward questions and put me in a spot. So I think that adds value.
So you do make your friend or your guest comfortable enough to talk about second sunrises.
Absolutely.
Because I think a lot of people are hesitant to talk about the second chances that people have.
Yeah.
So today we don't have those biases at all.
Yeah, I think I've already had 10 chances in the life I've lived so far.
Yeah, I thought only 2. Second, we were talking about second. But you crossed 10.
Yeah, I feel like every obstacle, if I see it as a chance to move forward.
Okay.
I'm in my 30s right now. So I started really early when I came.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to ask you. You started very early.
Yeah.
It's very unusual in India because people in the US or Europe work when they're in school and college, but we don't.
Yes.
We're all pampered. So how did you start working so young?
It just happened, ma'am. In the sense, I was a Bharatanatyam dancer. So I finished my Arangetram. And back then, when I was doing all these little dance recitals, there used to be a lot of people asking, are you okay if can we call her for a movie opportunity? Can we call her for this modeling opportunity? And my parents come from a very conservative, traditional background.
Yeah. Lawyers and doctors.
Yeah.
And suddenly somebody in the media.
Yeah, they were dead against it. They were dead against it. But these kept on coming to an extent where I felt like, I don't know, I feel like my entire career is a manifestation of something very subconsciously I did. When I was young, I used to look at television and see all these great anchors and be like, how are they able to do this? How are they able to talk like this? So when the offers kept on coming, naturally at one point of time, they said, okay, go give it a shot. But we have our terms and conditions. So you have to go with your mom all the time and do this. So I think I was about 14 when I first started. I appeared on a private channel, a local regional channel. I did an audition and I loved Tamil so much. So when I had the flair for Tamil, though I was not groomed or anything like that, it was fun. Just doing it in between school, during the holidays, doing a show, just getting some pocket money. That's how it started.
Ramya, it's one thing to be talented and confident to perform in front of so many people at a very young age. But avlo young age, how do you manage money? How do you manage time? How do you manage discipline and other people?
Avlo yosikave illa, ma'am, because I started so young at 14. I had a caretaker. Mother would be always there with me. We hardly made money actually at that point of time. I remember still, I think, for the show I first hosted, for the entire month, I earned 600 rupees.
Okay.
We didn't know, whether this is the right amount to ask. Whatever they give, we just take it. And we still feel very grateful about it because I'm in school. I don't even have to earn money right now, but I'm actually making money. And I would be so thrilled about that whole thing that, I've done this, I'm earning money, and that gave me so much of self-confidence. And about time management, thanks to the fact that we didn't have social media then, we were bored all the time. So I used to go to school, I used to go for dance class, and then once a week, this kind of a shoot. And I had my own principles. I will not use the luxuries provided by my father. So if there was some shoot or an event which was outside Chennai, I'll go in the bus. Though I can afford a train or a car travel, I'll go in the bus along with my mother in that 500 rupees, 1000 rupees ticket they've booked and travel all night. I'm just very, very grateful to the parenting and parents. They were the people who maintained everything, managed money, managed my time. And I was just doing this because I got the privilege to do it. And they said, yeah, go ahead. That's all.
I think we have to tell the present young generation how much money we all made. You said for working so much, you got 600 rupees.
Yeah.
For my first project, Rajni and Sridevi were the stars.
Right.
And I worked for 9 months or 10 months. My salary was 5,000 rupees.
What are you saying?
Yeah, I was a camera assistant. So, but I'm grateful.
Yeah.
The things that I learned during that period, it's equal to some $5 million.
Absolutely. I think street smartness is something you develop only when you go at the site, get the experience, talk with people, do a face-to-face conversation. We didn't have technology to hide behind and do conversations back then. And we didn't have the audacity or the courage to go talk to people saying, and it was a very male-dominated industry. There's only, I remember when I was anchoring, I was the only girl there. My mother would be around. So whether it's the costume I'm wearing, the kind of makeup I'm wearing, I had no say in any of it. And I toughened up over time.
Yeah. Okay, I think when we are talking about second sunrises, second chances, in physical form also, there is a second, a stage for a lot of people.
Yeah.
For me, it was from a small town to the city, to adapt to the style and dressing and all that. For you, from a chubby, really chubby girl to somebody who's a fitness freak now.
Yeah.
So how did you move from the chubby child to the slim girl?
Again, it's a gradual progression which happened, ma'am. Like I said, I started hosting when I was 14, but it was only after I completed college, which was around 20, when I became a full-time anchor. And when I moved into that space, I realized that there was a lot of commenting and criticism going on about my looks. Everybody who saw me on the road, we didn't have social media then, but everybody who saw me on the road would be like, "Neenga nera alaga irkeengle, TV la yen gunda irkeenga." They would actually use these words. You're obese, you're fat, you're dark-skinned on camera, you don't look good. And it used to upset me. And I used to do everything possible under the sun. Go on crash diets, go on that famous GM7 diets, General Motorcycle diet, go on a lime juice diet just before shoot. I've done all the crazy things. The weight would come down just on the scale, but I would look the same. And then I would be so frustrated at the end of 1 or 2 weeks that I'll eat up even more than what I used to eat and gain all the weight. This was just one yin-yang cycle which was already always going on, and I used to run on the treadmill. Remember when I used to work out in Savera? We both were workout buddies. I would just run. Like I would run at 12, 13 kilometers for 1 hour, lose all that water weight, feel so good. And then again it will start. So this was happening. I did yoga, I did aerobics, I did Zumba. We've done Zumba. Everything. And finally, I think about 12 years back, I got introduced to the idea of CrossFit training and weight training. And I liked it because I felt more than anything, it gave me a lot of confidence. It mentally opened me up. When I could lift weights, I figured like, I'm a woman. I'm only like 60 kg, 55 kg, but I'm able to lift a barbell which is beyond my weight. And that made me feel so strong. And the instructor I had, then she guided me that this is not about just your training, it's also about your eating. And back in the day, we were thinking chapati is a weight loss food.
Yes, absolutely.
So we'll eat chapatis to lose weight and all that. So she was saying, maybe you have a gluten intolerance, maybe you have a dairy intolerance, do this, do that. And when I just followed her, I realized that slowly I was getting a body I really enjoyed, desired, which motivated me to push more. And I became stronger to the extent where I started participating in these powerlifting competitions at district, state level, winning. And that also opened up a new audience for me. A lot of women who felt like, how come this sari-clad girl who will host shows on television is able to do this? And I like it. I want to know about it. That's when I started getting into fitness in a serious way.
See, people who come from traditional backgrounds like you, Swarnamalya, you were all appreciated by the people who saw you on television and on the big screen. But the family always had some restrictions. So you have to go through that, barrier and then go and see. In a way, the career gets affected.
Yeah.
So there will be, when people are coming with offers, your parents are saying, don't do this.
Yeah.
We don't want you to do it. And when you want something, it won't happen.
Yeah.
So were there any disappointments and, because of cultural restrictions?
Today, I don't see it as a disappointment, but at that moment, I used to feel that because I got some great opportunities. It won't be right to bring out the names, but top leading actors, big projects, film opportunities where I'm the lead. And it was tempting because I'm a small girl, I'm in my teens and I'm in my early 20s. I go watch their films, I'm their fan, and somebody comes and says, you can act opposite to them as the lead. And the kind of fame you might get, the kind of opportunities you might get, how it will upscale your career. It was very tempting for me. But yeah, like you said, my family back then, we came from that big bad understanding that, media, film industry, it's a bad world out there. People write gossips. Her entire career might be like about all of this only. She might not have a personal life at all. It's not good. And there were a lot of relatives also sort of feeding into that idea to my parents. So they had one, Ram and Rekha saying that this is the line we would let you in. I didn't even act in serials or anything. They said anchoring, hosting, that's about it. As long as you're alone and you're going to go and do something and come back home with the presence of your mother, that's fine. And they had that condition also, we will not permit you falling in love with anybody. You have to choose the guy.
Correct.
We would fix for you.
That's what I was trying to ask you. For them to let you cross a little line, go, the leverage would have been arranged marriage. You have to go through an arranged marriage. So many people have asked me, why arranged marriage for you? Because in my case, I didn't have the time. I was working, so I was lazy to look around. And so my parents decided and Mani's brother decided. Why arranged marriage for you?
Same, ma'am. I was so busy. Like I used to host all the audio launches, morning one, afternoon one, evening one. I would do the abroad shows, star night shows somewhere abroad. Come to the airport, just pick up the bag, give my bag back to the driver and then go to a shoot in AVM or Prasad studio for a television shoot that I have. I had no inclination. Mom was always with me. So then, it's almost like you have a guardian right next to you. You can't open your eyes and look around and fall in love. And she used to handle my phone.
Okay.
So then I don't have any personal time to talk to people or anything like that. Even if I had interest, I guess it was all just fleeting. It was so fast. Everything was happening so fast.
So women like you who are so busy with your career and then you get into this marriage, arranged marriage, sort of the scenario changes completely.
Yeah.
You were the heroine and you played the lead role till now and suddenly everything changes. You are not the lead role anymore. Is that so for a lot of women who get married from a busy life and jumping into...
I guess it's how you work it out with the partner. In my case, I continued.
Yeah.
I never gave it a pause at all in any way. And I was also clear. Like I felt like my biggest high in my life is that I have a career. I'm independent financially more than anything. And I was not ready to compromise that under... So that's why I guess my parents wanted me to get married from the time I was 22. But I was about 26 when I got married. Because of a couple of reasons. One is the fact that I wanted to be in Chennai. I wanted to continue my career. Most of the grooms would say, you have to live in US after the marriage and all that. The second thing is about having a media career. Especially in the conventional, traditional families, there's all sort of opinions about the career that you are in. And if you want somebody in the same community, but outside your career, they need to be as broad-minded. Now things are changing, but it was not like that about 15 years, 20 years back. So I think all of that took its own time. But the most important thing I feel is I never wanted to stop. I wanted to continue.
Like you said, when you were working, your mother was always there. She also had a control over your phone and who you talk to. So to a certain extent, parenting was controlling. And after that, your career kind of controls how you look, what you say and what you do. And then when you get into marriage, there are a lot of controls, and at least you think that you've got to play this role this way and all that. When did you realize that you have to look after yourself?
Very recently. I'm still working on it because I don't know, somewhere it's a paradox, right? In our lives, we every day have to be individuals and yet be part of a community of people wherever we go. Here it's the people around here. In my house, it's the people I'm living with. I go in a car, it's the friends I am traveling with. So I think we were always caught up in this paradox of being an individual and yet also being a social animal and being part of the community wherever we are at all point of time. And this question of, am I going to please the other person and the society, or am I going to please myself and take care of myself, is something which we're always juggling with. And there's no right and wrong answer here, and we can keep arguing about this forever. But I realized that if we put anybody except ourselves in the center of our life, it's going to be a little unpleasant life to live with. There's going to be a lot of disappointments. You can never please everyone. You will have a lot of conflicts of opinion. You'll end up not being in peace. So I finally come to terms that anybody can be anything, can say anything, no matter how close they are or distant they are. But if you feel that you are on the right path and you're doing the right thing, and you feel internally, in the internal world that you're living with, are happy as a person, that's all matters. Because after COVID, I realized, ma'am, that we just have like 60, 65 years. And if you're very lucky, like your dad, we can maybe live longer.
My dad is, exception.
Yeah, there's exceptions. But what am I going to do in the 60, 65 years? Am I going to whine, complain, be a people pleaser, do everything for everyone, not take care of myself, and then feel terrible? Or am I going to just realize that I have a very short time to live and try to work on being happy? So that's just been a small flick which is recently working on me.
So having celebrities as friends. So when you are like in politics, you will have friends who are all leaders. When you're in cinema, you will have stars who are all your friends. And then when you're an anchor like this and the celebrities trust you and talk to you. So you've got a lot of friends. A lot of celebrities, and they come and confide in you. I know that you're their confidant. They talk about second sunrises to you.
Yes.
So when they are out of one relationship and then they're getting into another relationship, I've heard two people who are like very open. So what is your advice to them when they are like going from the first sunrise and then looking for the second sunrise?
I don't know if I'm experienced enough to advise, but what I feel is just think of the pros and cons of everything before making a decision. Because again, it's a big deal today if somebody walks out of a relationship. It's spoken about, it's marked on the paper, it's marked on the internet. It's something which can never be erased. Even if you have moved on decades after it, it's still a topic of discussion. Back 20 years, 10 years, 15 years back, I think we were in a space where we could do all of this in our private little world, and it was not an open discussion in the public. Probably somebody would talk it inside their house, but not open it out. It's only because of that, I would say, like, think twice before making a decision, which I personally tell to myself. In the last so many years, it's fine to have relationships, but the minute it turns into a topic of marriage, it becomes a big deal. And while you're married, so many things can go wrong. And the society seems to be forgiving about it.
Have you experienced joy from one to the second sunrise, the joy that your friends have experienced? Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, I totally have. In a way where it's very free.
Yeah.
It's very liberating. I feel right now my best friend is myself first.
Okay.
And I can sleep in the night without waiting for a call or a message from somebody. And I can go training every day without any motivation from an external person. I can go on a drive, singing songs, take my dog for a walk. All of this makes me extremely happy as a person. And it's not that I'm a loner, I'm alone or anything of that sort. I love the company of people. But when I'm able to experience this luxury, I don't feel like there is a compulsion to get settled at any point. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, I'm still fine. I'm not going to be in that little box thinking that, my life hasn't been completed. I haven't got the tick for a partner, a child, and all of that, which is the traditional way of looking at it. I feel like I've crossed that path now.
You just said that only recently you started being nice to yourself and started looking after yourself. So it is a kind of a restructuring, isn't it? In this restructuring, are you going to be apprehensive about what others feel or whatever the criticism that you will face? Is there a fear, or are you going to be a rebel this time? Ramya is going to be a rebel and not worried, or bohemian.
I've never been on both the extremes, ma'am. I've always found the mid path. I think now I'm a little more confident. I think age sort of helps. Aging helps. In my 20s, I used to be a person always bothered about what the other people are going to say. What are they going to talk about? And I couldn't take criticism in a good way. If somebody had something negative to tell about me, whether they put it in a right language or in a horrible language, it affected me a lot. I would not be able to sleep in the night. I would feel very anxious. It was almost like, why are they doing this to me? I don't deserve it, and they don't know the entire story. They can't talk like that, and all of this. That has shifted now in a nice way that I can't control that. People are going to say what they want to say. But what really matters is the people who are in my internal world, the people I wake up to, who know me well. I don't want to hurt them. I really want to make them feel good about, having a daughter like me, having a sister like me, having a friend like me. So that matters to me.
Okay, a small bit of information, trivia, or something from nostalgia or from the past. I've seen Ramya having a second life. I've seen her have a second life. Seriously, she had a second life. We were in Bali on a holiday.
Oh yeah.
And everybody was in the swimming pool, and she said, I don't swim. I don't want to get into the swimming pool. Somebody just pushed her into the swimming pool.
Yeah.
And a young guy realized that she was struggling for life and jumped in and pulled her out. So literally, that's like a second chance for you.
So this is why I said I've had multiple 10, 15 chances so far. Because my life has always been not too rosy. It's always had its set of, you were there right then when it happened.
I was just watching it, like I was just probably 15 feet away from you.
Yeah, and you had this, I still remember the next day you woke me up and you got a little gift, a little dress from Bali just to make me feel better because I was too young.
That was the second chance for you, my dear. Second sunrise for you.
The best thing about second chances is that, ma'am, I feel like when something really bad happens, it's a natural escalation. The next thing is going to be only good. Even about 6 months back, I kind of confided in you. a lot of things were coming in my life personally and affecting me, health, work, everything. And I just felt very lost. But I don't know, it feels like it happened just yesterday, but I already feel like a different person now because it changed me for the good. The failure taught me a lot of good lessons.
Tamil, we have a saying, Kadai Karkale, Padin Karkal. I don't know how to translate that. All the obstacles in life will be your stepping stone.
Yeah, I truly believe in that. Every time something like that happened, I wouldn't have got that gift from you if I didn't drown in the swimming pool.
I hope it was a good color.
I still have it.
Okay.
I still have it.
Interesting.
So like that, whenever something terrible happens, I look forward. I'm a positive person. I'm an optimist. I don't like being cynical about life. So I take it in the best stride and I believe that something good is going to happen next.
Yeah. So we already spoke about it, like how you found the right method of fitness.
Yeah.
Like weightlifting and things like that, weights and all that. How did this, should I call you a fitness freak or somebody?
Absolutely. I can't go a day without doing anything.
Yeah. So how did it start and how does it continue today?
It started in a way where it was only about weight for me. Like I wanted to look like a size 0 model or look perfect for the camera. When I weigh myself, I wanted to see a very lesser number. All the clothes had to fit me right. That was the only motivation for me. But over time, when I started gathering more and more information, studying about it, I understood how this is a work in process every day, just like brushing your teeth and how you take shower, how you eat food. Movement is very important. Workouts are important. Eating right is important. So it's not that I don't have my cheat days or I don't go off the charts, but I know my body enough. Also, I'm good enough to now even say out of experience and the knowledge I've gathered on for anybody to help them out on what to eat, what not to eat, how much is a balanced nutrition important for your longevity. My only goal is this. Everybody says these days when they're in a cynical mode, it's okay. What if I smoke? What if I drink alcohol? I'm going to die early. That's fine. It's not about dying early. It's that you're going to develop some horrible medical conditions you have to live with for the rest of your life, be dependent on other people. And that's something I don't want for myself. That is my motivation. I want to be able to walk when I'm 80, 90, 70, 65, whatever that is, without leaning on another person.
Yeah. Okay. So when you started your fitness center, around 300 people
joined.
It's more than the clients your father had as a lawyer. He would have picked it up like 1, 2, 3, and then if you count, there'll be probably 100. But for Ramya, the next generation, it just happens like that. Is it the power of social media?
For sure, ma'am. I think social media made a big difference to my life because there are other things which I do today apart from being an anchor. I'm an influencer, a fitness influencer. I was very, very reluctant when I started posting content on Instagram, Twitter, because I felt like when you're actually opening a window of your life, you're letting people see it, it's going to stay there forever and they can say whatever they want to say. And that's the first thing I looked at. And it was very difficult for me. It was very overwhelming for me to accept that. But once I surpassed that, I saw the beauty of this social media, whether it's the book I published, Stop Waiting, or the place I opened up, Route 360. For all of this, the people who were attached to me, the first question they asked was, are you there on social media? How many followers do you have? And this happened, and when they saw me, they saw my profile, it became a gateway for them to come and collaborate with me. We don't need a visiting card anymore. They ask your name, they Google you up, they see your Instagram feed, they see your Twitter feed, and then they know everything about you. That's how it is. So in my fitness studio's case, I got so many members signed up because they were people who are already following me on my YouTube channel, watching my fitness tips, reading about the kind of things I offer. During COVID, I used to have online programs where people could get some tips to work out at home using a set of dumbbells or resistance band. That kind of exploded slowly, and that is why I even wanted to start up a fitness studio. I felt like there is an audience for that and let me guide them in the right way. So when the minute that announcement came by, it was really nice to see so many people interested.
Let's imagine a sunrise.
Okay.
In Chennai, in Bay of Bengal, the sun rises. You have so many responsibilities. Like you'll have to smile and put a video of your yoga or whatever weightlifting that you're doing and probably go to the gym and be the influencer. What if the day doesn't start well, but still you'll have to spread joy? How do you manage that?
I was faking it till I was making it for a while. Now I'm being very real. I'm being very vulnerable and open because it's a part of life. I feel like we are in a it's not the best of times we are living in right now, and there's so many problems. People are having brain fatigue, mental fog, stress, anxiety, depression, so many things, and I want to be as authentic as I can. There is a lot of things which are private in my life, which probably I'm very, very clear that I don't want to expose on social media. But there are days when I don't feel motivated to go to the gym too. I don't feel so great about myself, and slowly I'm trying to show that real side of me because I want people to not just see like a mannequin version of me, but the real me.
Satisfaction and joy. Which brings joy to work? A new learning or success and money?
Right now, it's a new learning. It's when I go somewhere, what am I going to take back from it? Who are the people I'm vibing with? What is the energy? Am I going to align myself with them? Will we have a good sync? That matters so much because that can go on and affect you for the next 1 week, 1 month based on the experience it is.
Okay. So talking about financial intelligence,
Yeah.
financial quotient or whatever, your age and your generation always had everything, handed out to them by parents or by your career. Okay. It was handed out to you. But there is something called financial stability.
Correct.
You think you found out what financial stability is all about?
Again, I'm learning. My entire 20s, my finances were managed by my mother. And then she said, enough is enough, you need to learn about this. So from 2021, I've been handling my own finances. I've been running the house. My parents call me like as a showrunner of the house. I pay the bills, I pay everything. I take care of them as well as I stand
you do
for
your
myself.
own investments also?
Yes, I'm into mutual funds.
Mm.
So I sort of follow the market. I know I have a fund manager I interact with. There are some property investments that I'm keen on. So I've done things in a way where our profession as such is not a stable profession. We don't know when work comes. We don't know when we have to sit at home. So this is very, very essential. And I want to ensure that not now, but maybe 10 years down the line, 15 years down the line, when I'm not wanting to work so hard all the time or be a hustler, I shouldn't worry about money. I started really young. If I've not managed my money smart, then that's a problem. But because I started young, the privilege of that is I put it into places where it can grow. Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping that 10 years, 20 years down the line, I can enjoy the fruits of it.
So from fitness, I think you should teach the younger generation about financial stability too.
I don't know if I can do that. Yeah, but I think it's important for everybody to know it. I feel a lot of the youngsters are learning money, but they don't know where to pocket it. Yeah. And they're dependent on other resources for it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that might also not go in your favor when people sort of take advantage of the fact that you don't have the kind of knowledge and skills you need to have. As important it is to earn money, I feel it's equally important to manage your money.
Yeah, I think they're actually there. They've got it.
They've got it.
I'm dealing with one at home, so I know how it is.
Yeah.
He tells me, he corrects me all the time.
Oh, lovely.
You're making a mistake. This is not how it should be done.
Lovely.
Get out of all your old habits and all that. So I know they're there. So, and your podcast, stay tuned. That's your own baby.
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't it? How much are you helping others? How much are you taking away from it? For yourself?
For myself, two things. I was always confused between having a goal and having the purpose of my life. My goal was about doing the best in my career, earning money, which is making me financially independent to do the things I want to in life. And I thought that's also my purpose of life for a long time. Now I know the difference. My purpose of life is to inspire people who want to find their own inspirations for their life. And this podcast is helping me with that. Because for me, I call on the show, you've come, yes, only people who matter to me, only people who I have seen, watched up close, and they have inspired me. Or I've read about them. It's not some random person who is popular on social media or popular on a television show or a film right now. It's for me that their how they've handled life really matters. So it's inspiring me that way. And when I talk to them, I'm a little selfish. I ask questions again, which is going to be nuggets which I can take back.
Yeah.
And I feel like it is not a controversial show. It's not going to have anything where we're going to have some catchy thumbnails and clickbaits and all that. It's all about for people to know what is to be motivated, not to rely on that, rely on consistency, have everyday, daily discipline habits, a little on health, a little on lifestyle. So that's the takeaway.
I remember my takeaway from your Stay Tuned. Do you remember that?
No, I
have
don't.
never said that to anyone. I said only to you. You asked me what is your strategy to success? Do you have a plan for your career? And I said respect.
Yeah.
Whatever I do, it has to be respected by the society, by social media, by scholars who see it, and people who are well-read should appreciate it. I should respect it. I should respect my work. I think that was my takeaway from your Stay Tuned.
I think that's the secret of your longevity. I sometimes feel some people don't have an end to this career at all, which is so competitive, like you. But some people, they come, they have a great number of few hits and then they disappear. And I think respect really matters because how you grow, how you evolve, that is one part of it. The other part of it is saying no to a lot of opportunities. So you get the right opportunities, wait for it, and then say yes.
Are you saying I didn't have my second sunrise at all? I had only one sunrise for all these years?
No! I mean to say that you picked on the right sunrises.
I think I've had a second sunrise, like you, in health. I think it was 1997.
Okay.
I had a very grave illness and I was like only 49.5 kilos. And nobody knew what it was all about. And I mean, I had a little son. He was only about 5-6 years old. And I think I saw the second sunrise when I got better.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely,
I never knew about
yes,
this.
There are so many sunrises people are not aware of.
Exactly. Yeah.
In your profession, you'll be meeting people from both sexes.
Yeah.
And you'll develop friendships. Sometimes men are easier to have as friends because there is not too many things attached.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So according to you, what is your idea of a romantic relationship versus a normal relationship?
I feel 90% of it is friendship.
Okay.
It's only the extra 10%, which is probably the physical attraction and the hormonal play between both the people, all of that. But 90% of it is a solid friendship, understanding, the fact that this person knows everything about me. I don't have to put up a false picture for the person. I can be myself, and both the individuals have to grow together. If one person is growing faster than the other, you feel like you don't even know the other person at all. And that becomes a major problem. I'm seeing it with my friends in today's marriages. It's very difficult to contain a marriage the same way in today's time when there's so much outside to attract us.
In Tamil, we have a saying, Kandadum Kadal.
Yeah.
Kanden Site Madri, Kandadum Kadal, love at first sight. So you're saying love at first sight is only 10% of the romance.
Yeah, கண்டதும் காதல் okay. ஆனா அது கல்யாணத்துக்கு இல்ல ஒரு committed relationshipக்கு if it has to change, it needs work.
Okay. I feel that you are at the starting point of a second sunrise.
Thank you, ma'am.
I think you are heading towards the second sunrise. Thank you so much, Ramya, for coming and talking to us about second chances and second sunrise and many sunrises. I hope you enjoyed talking to us.
Absolutely, ma'am. I mean, like I always say, this feels at home. Talking to you feels like it's your house and I'm just having a cup of coffee and talking to you about everything under the sun, which is just a regular thing that we do. And the reason why I wanted to do this is because it's with you and I know that you're going to make me utmost comfortable. You're so sensitive to and respectful to my feelings, which I feel like is a very big blessing, and you are a very big blessing, and I feel so grateful and happy that I did this.
I'm so touched, but I'm not going to let go of you without you saying one sentence defining second chances.
Defining second chances will be that knowing that life is not going to be entirely in your control, but that is the beauty of the life, because it also tells you that you have the freedom to rewrite your chapter from wherever it ends.
Wonderful. I think that's very spontaneous and wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. You made my day.
You made mine.
Thank you.
Thank you.